Hey guys, I'm Mark Bridge, and you're watching PopCulture Galaxy TV. So it's time for the D23 Expo. I didn't go, but of course we're in the world of the internet. So whenever new information comes out, whoever wasn't there, we can get some information. And I've got some cool information to tell you guys if you haven't heard it already. First up, let's start with Star Wars. The poster for Star Wars: The Force Awakens is out, and it's from the guy who pretty much did all of the Star Wars posters ever since 1977, I think. It's from Drew Struzan. I actually met him once. I went to Comic-Con, I think in 2012. He did the poster for Cowboys and Aliens, that crappy movie. But I have the poster, and he signed it and everything, so it was pretty cool. He retired, but I guess once in a while he comes out and does a few posters here and there. One was for the Cowboys and Aliens. The other one now is for Star Wars. Now, what does that poster confirms is that John Boyega's character Finn will be a Jedi, or will have wield the lightsaber. I don't know if he's gonna be a Jedi or not, but he'll have the lightsaber and he'll be wielding it. You see Daisy Ridley's character Rey. She's more front and center, which means she might be the sort of lead to this film. And then John Boyega's character is sort of the second lead, kind of a flipping of the Luke was the main, and then Leia. So I guess they're flipping it, but at least he's a Jedi, because at one point when it was first announced that he was going to be in this movie, we assumed he was going to be a Jedi. But then after a while, you started to think, oh, maybe Rey is the Jedi, and he's more of the sort of not the Han Solo type characters, because I think maybe that's going towards Oscar Isaac's character. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe he's just, I don't know. I don't know how his character would fit in other than him being the Jedi. But it's confirmed he will have the lightsaber. Maybe he has the Force powers. Is he a child of one of the main characters, the older trilogy characters? There was I think an expanded universe storyline where Han's first wife was black or whatever, so it could be his son, or Lando's son. Or is it that Daisy Ridley's character Rey is the daughter of Han, and then Kylo Ren, which we all know Kylo is a made-up name. That's not his real name, and Ren is the Knights of the Ren. That he could possibly be also an offspring of one of the older trilogy characters, and he just happened to be a fan of the whole Force and Darth Vader and stuff like that. And speaking of which, there was a couple of leaked photos of possible Knights of the Ren, and I have a feeling that those three actors who were from the Raid, who are cast in this movie, will be playing Knights of the Ren as well, because you can see where their skill would come into play. So yeah, definitely that poster looks awesome, except for the Han Solo. He looks so old. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna fly this. Other than that, yeah, I'm excited that John is wielding that lightsaber. Pretty cool. Alright, and the next bit of Star Wars news is that they did reveal the cast photo of Rogue One, and it's actually called, first when they first announced it, it was called Star Wars Anthology Rogue One. Now it's actually called Rogue One, a Star Wars story. But they revealed the cast. We already know that Felicity Jones was going to be in this film. She was going to be the lead, which is pretty awesome. But the rest of the cast is Mads Mikkelsen from Hannibal. You know him from Hannibal, also the villain in Casino Royale. And you have Diego Luna, then Ben Mendelsohn, Donnie Yen from Blade 2, and Ip Man. Yeah, I'm psyched that he's in this movie. Who also he may also show up in episode 8. I think that was a rumor. And then rounding out the cast, you have Jia Wen, Forrest Whitaker, and Alan Tudyk from Firefly. Firefly fans out there, and Riz Ahmed. Now, the photo that they showed, it's a pretty cool photo. It looks more ragged. It's less, Star Warsy. It looks, a little bit more, I guess, grounded. And that's what I am excited about. I don't want the spin-off films to look like the main Star Wars films, because it's like, what's the point of making these side stories, except for just cashing in on the Star Wars storyline? And all you're gonna do is just water it down. You know what I mean? If all the films look alike, like what Marvel has done with their films is, even though they're in the same universe, they manage to make each of their films stand out tone-wise and aesthetic-wise. Like Ant-Man looks drastically different from The Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. So if they manage to do this with Star Wars, where Star Wars, the spin-off films, doesn't necessarily have to look like, the main films. It could have different tones. Like I'm feeling that Han Solo movie might be like a gangster film or something like that. I'm excited. I'm down. I can't wait to see the spin-off films and the main Star Wars films. And then another bit of Star Wars news. Star Wars Episode 9 director has been announced. I think 8 was announced that it was going to be Rian Johnson. But 9, the speculation was that Abrams would come back, but then he pretty much said, no, I'm not coming back. So then who will be the new director? And we have a director announcement. It will be Colin Trevorrow, who directed Jurassic Park and Safety Not Guaranteed. Jurassic Park made, 1.3 billion? And it's, I'm sure this impressed, the folks over at Disney. I know Kathleen Kennedy said, she was impressed with Safety Not Guaranteed, and then what he did with Jurassic World just, solidified him as a perfect candidate to move on to Episode 9, which is a long ways from now. I think Episode 9 comes out, this is 2015, 2017 would be 8, 2019, wow, okay. Is my math correct? Yeah, I think so. 2019 will be Episode 9, if my math is correct. But yeah, it's going to be a while off, so I'm sure if they wanted to, use him for Jurassic World 2, it'll be enough time. But yeah, good choice. Jurassic World was an enjoyable movie, I must say, and as long as the thing about it is, unlike the Fox situation where you had this guy who came from a smaller movie and they brought him to this big thing, Fox didn't support Josh Trank, and even if Josh Trank was being an asshole, I think it was a result of Fox not supporting him. It was just more of just like this, the push and pull of this whole thing may have caused Josh to just flip out. But with Jurassic World, they gave him some leeway. Yes, it's their film. They wanted certain things in it. I'm sure the whole idea between that had spoilers for people who haven't seen Jurassic World, having this new dinosaur fight the T-Rex being sort of the hero dinosaur. I'm sure that was the studio's mandate. It's like, come on, the T-Rex has always been our staple of all the Jurassic films, so make sure he's in there and make sure he's the hero of the film. And even the Raptors, people love the Raptors, and have the Raptors be like, sort of the good guys. I'm sure that's all studio stuff, but the thing is, it's like, I'm sure beforehand when Colin came on, they discussed all of this and said, listen, this is what we want for this movie, and you can put your flair on this movie as long as these things, stay, then go ahead. And then they shook hands, they got ready to shoot, and he had the support structure, the people who made these great special effects, he had all of that support. And, that's how you have a great film, when it's a great collaboration between the studio and the filmmaker. So as long as Disney provides that for Colin, Star Wars Episode 9 is in great hands. They are coming out with Star Wars Land, the 2 Disney parks, one in Anaheim and in Florida. We'll have Star Wars Land, and the way how it's described is pretty much once you step into that land, it's authentically Star Wars. You know, all the if you go into like a bar or something, you're gonna be served by aliens. I'm sure people in costume, but they won't break character, and it will be as if you're in Star Wars, which is pretty cool. Like once that's up and running, I would definitely go and visit there, and I'm sure it's gonna be a hit across as long as they do it right. You know, they showed some of the concept arts, which looks like it's gonna be an undertaking, but you know, this is Disney. That Disney money was coming fresh, man. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out. All right, so the final bit of news I want to talk about is Pirates of the Caribbean 5, otherwise known as Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man Tell No Tales. We'll see a returning cast member from the original trilogy. Orlando Bloom is coming back, which, you know, he skipped part 4, but he will be back. And this will sort of serve as a soft reboot, is what I'm hearing. Whether it's a soft reboot to meaning like they're skipping 4 and not really, you know, 4 didn't exist, or if they're soft rebooting, meaning like you don't really have to watch the previous 3, which I hope it's not. I hope it's just for part 4, because what happened at the end of the first 3 is that Orlando Bloom's character, he becomes the captain of the Flying Dutchman, and I hope that still remains. And I'm just sad that Keira Knightley, you know, unless she's in it, maybe she's a surprise at the end of the film, kind of like Jeffrey Rush's character was a surprise at the end of part 2, where he showed up like, oh my god, he's alive. You know, maybe she shows up, you know. They're keeping that close to the chest. But him coming back and her just feels strange. But let's see how they manage to pull that off. But I like this character. As a matter of fact, from the first movie, if you really pay attention to that first movie, I think his character was supposed to be the main character, and Johnny Depp's character, Captain Jack, is mainly like the supporting, like the Han Solo of the whole film. But I'm excited to see him back. Like, I was excited to see him in Lord of the Rings. So hey, he hasn't been doing anything special lately. So hey, bring him back. Let's see if they keep that Flying Dutchman storyline. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Marky Tundra. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and like. Leave a comment below. I want to hear what you guys think. Like us on Facebook, that's facebook.com/PopCultureGalaxy, and visit PopCultureGalaxy.com for all your entertainment goodies. So until next time, folks, peace.